Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Get him. Yeah. What's up, Culture Vultures? It's your boy Zach here with another episode of The Breakdown. And today's film is Hustle and Flow. It stars none other than Terrence Howard, Taraji B. Henson, Taryn Manning, DJ Qualls, Anthony Anderson, Ludacris, Isaac Hayes, and Paula J. Parker. Absolutely adored this movie, y'all. It was a great film. It was about, a complex, complicated character, which, I feel like we don't do too much in movies anymore. That's why I love Marty Supreme so much. It's just about a guy that, you know, he hustles, he does what he has to do to get by, but he aspires for bigger and better things, and he's a very flawed, you know, complicated human being that some people love and some people hate. Some people are indifferent towards, but at the end of the day, he's still a man and he's on a mission in life. And that's what I love about this film, and specifically the character of DJ portrayed by Terrence Howard, because he's a man that he's a pimp, he's a hustler. Some would say he's a bad guy, he's a criminal, he's a low down dirty nigga. Some would say that he is a go-getter, an ambitious man, a moneymaker, a talented artist. Everybody would have a different way of viewing this person, which is what I love. The truth is up to you. I think that this character is complicated. He's all of those things. He's a hustler. He's a gangster. He's a talented artist. He's a go-getter. But he's also misogynistic, and he's a user and a manipulator and an abuser. And he knows that. He's conscious of that. He's aware of this. Like during that scene where he wants that microphone and he makes Nola have sex with the guy that's selling the mics, and she, gets upset. She doesn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? He even says, I fucking hate this shit, and he hits the wall. He's a human being made up of many dimensions and parts. He's like a puzzle. And that's what I think that's what I'm going to name these characters, puzzle characters. Puzzle films about puzzle characters. Films that have all these different parts and dimensions and characters. And characters that have the same thing, all these different parts and dimensions to them. You know what I'm saying? But I love the characters like that. I love movies like that. I will fight for them and ride for them all day long, every day. I just think that's, something we don't maybe do so much well anymore. That's why I think that's why I was so happy when Marty Supreme came out, because it actually did that in Marty Supreme. That was exactly his character. He wasn't no pimp, but, he was similar in many ways. Terrence Howard and Taraji B. Henson are just acting royalty. Obviously, they were on Empire together. Obviously, they've been in a whole bunch of stuff. Terrence Howard been in Players Club, Dead Presidents, Crash, the first Iron Man, Hustle and Flow. You know what I'm saying? He's been in so much stuff. Same thing with Sunset Park. Taraji B. Henson started off on Smart Guy. From Smart Guy to Baby Boy. I Can Do Bad All By Myself. Straw, a movie I watched that came out last year by Tyler Perry, which is awesome. It's on Netflix. You should definitely check it out. I think her best performance that I've seen her give is probably in I Can Do Bad All By Myself. She was also in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. She was in Hidden Figures. And I also think it's a tie between I Can Do Bad All By Myself and Empire. She got to show her entire range of acting talent, and she was just absolutely beautiful. This queen right here can act her ass off. I think that she is dope. She is one of the best in the game. I love her. I think she is immensely talented. I think she's great. She's beautiful. She's got a strong screen presence. She's got charisma. She can do so many different things. And I just love her. And I hope that she goes on to not only get compensated the way that she deserves, but also to keep on just making great movies and giving great performances, doing great in these roles. If you hear that annoying ass singing in the background, that's my pops. But yeah, yeah, she's amazing, and Terrence Howard, he's just as good. It's hard out here for a pimp, as we all know. Won a Best Original Song at the Oscars. Shout out to 3 6 Mafia. This is also set in Memphis, where the legendary hip hop group 3 6 Mafia is from. Good music, had a crazy ending, ending with the shootout. He gives his tape to Ludacris. Ludacris and him are drunk and high as fuck. They're gone. And then, he goes into the bathroom, is on the floor, slurring and shit. And then Terrence finds his tape in the toilet, picks it up. He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And then, he gets emotional, starts beating his ass. Ludacris pulls out a gun. He takes that shit. And then, his boys come in. They up it on him, but before they can up it on him, he, shoots him in the arm, breaks him up. Grabs the dude to shoot, say, yo, I'm back, I'm getting up out of here. I'm getting up out of here. Hops in his whip, takes off. And then, he's up out of there, pulls up back up to the crib, and 12 is there. And they arrest him, you know what I'm saying? So, it just is what it is. And then, he's telling, one of his hoes, telling Nola, the white girl, hey, yo, I went to put my shit on CD. Tells Anthony Anderson that his character is, like a guy he knew back in the day. That is, it's kind of like, he's one of his music producers. Anthony Anderson brings in a white boy to help him, played by DJ Qualls, to help him, produce the beat and shit like that. And, yeah, it was just awesome. And, it was just a great movie about a very flawed street hustler who is an aspiring artist with a lot of potential, but his own demons and his own choices just affect him. He makes poor decisions and he just can't get to where he's got to go due to his poor sense of direction in life. And, I just think movies like this are just the best. I think he was super dope in this movie. I loved him. And, yeah. In some weird way, I can relate, y'all. I'm not a perfect man myself. If this life shakes me and breaks me, I hope that it makes me a better man. That's all I can say. But I get up every day, work hard, do my thing, and I'm just so grateful to God for blessing my life in so many different ways and keeping me strong, keeping me focused, and keeping me going. Especially since I've been clean, y'all. Life has been just beautiful. Not perfect, but overall very beautiful. You gotta go through darkness before you can really appreciate the light. You know how when you're a kid and they cut your lights off, you cut your electricity off, ain't got no hot water, can't watch TV, can't turn on the lights. You know what I'm saying? Then when it finally gets cut back on, you're just so grateful. You can use the microwave again, you can play video games, take a nice hot shower, don't have to light candles. That's how life is sometimes, y'all. Life be lifing. But he goes to prison at the end of the movie, and he ends up hearing his shit on the radio. They get it on CD, and they hold it down for him while he's locked up. And yeah, it was just a super dope film. I absolutely loved it. Producer John Singleton funded the film himself because he just believed in it so much, and good for him. Shit, ended up being a huge hit, a huge success. But that's all I got for y'all today. As always, I love y'all. I rock with y'all. Fuck with y'all. Y'all fuck with me. your boy, Zach. I'm going to try to get one more movie in for Black History Month. Peace, love, and soul.